All week on Daybreak, we're highlighting local police officers who went above the badge to serve their communities.
That's right. Officers respond to all kinds of emergencies, and that includes massive fires.
So this morning, Crystal Harper takes us back to New Year's Eve when flames ripped through an apartment complex in Virginia Beach.
That's right. It's hard to forget the scene at Willow Lake Apartments, but thanks to the heroic actions of 2 Virginia Beach police officers, multiple people made it out of the burning building alive that day.
It was very emotional that morning. I mean, a lot of people were crying.
Virginia Beach police officers John Lubinsky and Norman Teague got chills while recalling the morning of December 31st, 2017.
That you don't really expect to see flames 30 feet from a building, from a rooftop.
Officer Lubinsky heard 2 women screaming for their lives as he arrived on scene that day.
I tried everything I could to get over this balcony, the balcony behind me, but it was fully engulfed. I just had him lie down as closest to the ground as possible for oxygen, and I just held on to him.
The front door was blocked by fire.
Officer Teague arrived just 45 seconds later.
And we know there's no way we're going to be able to get these ladies off the balcony without basically dying in the process.
The fire department showed up shortly to rescue the women, but the police officers knew their work wasn't quite done.
I said, hey, fire's here, there's other people in the building, and it just kicks in, and both of us, we went around knocking on doors, getting people out.
While most people were running away from a burning building, these officers were running into it and putting their own lives on the line.
It wasn't until after we realized that we took in a bunch of smoke, and that's when we came outside to get fresh air and we couldn't breathe, and we were rushed to the hospital.
Their hard work and selfless actions not only saved 7 lives that day, but they were also recently awarded the prestigious Silver Cross, which is only given to
officers who go above and beyond. They put their lives in danger, make sure that the public comes first.
Well deserved for 2 heroes.
I think we did our job to the best of our ability and excelled that day.
All police officers put their lives on the line every single day, but to enter a burning building and really risking your own life in that split-second decision, they didn't even hesitate.
Absolutely not.
Amazing. Doing it with such humble thoughts and feelings.
And that's the thing. They never want to be called heroes. I mean, but we know that they are absolutely. Yeah, they did a lot of great work.
They were amazing.